You got this?
That's people.
We're
It's from the 90s!
I only want to be with you!
Wait, who do you the blue for something?
Wait.
1, 2, 3.
Well, it's a lot like the movie, if you've seen Harry Potter. There are 2 beaters and 4 chasers. The 4 chasers carry the quaffle, or this volleyball-like thing, up and down the field and try and score through hoops on each side. So in that way, it's a lot like basketball. You're trying to go for each hoop, and each hoop each goal that you get counts as 10 points. And so while this is going on, beaters who play kind of the defensive game, they are running around with bludgers, which are dodgeballs, and trying to hit chasers with the ball strategically so that they have to drop what they're holding and return to their goal post and touch it before they can return back to gameplay. So that's kind of a handicap. We also do use the brooms, but they're not actual brooms. We use kind of like a PVC pipe that we have to hold between our legs at all times. If we come off broom, then it's a lot like getting beat or getting hit with a bludger, and you have to return to your goalpost and touch it before you can return into play. And so this is all going on, and the chasers are trying to score, and the beaters are fending off chasers. And but 18 minutes after the game starts, the Seeker and the Snitch are released. The Snitch is a unaffiliated USQ, United States Quidditch, affiliated kind of ref type person. They have a yellow tennis ball tucked into a sock traditionally. Now they actually have like fancy little tag things, kind of like flag football, tucked in the back of their shorts, and they run, and the Seekers chase them, much like an actual like flying snitch. And the gameplay continues until the Seeker catches the Snitch. However, it's not 150 points like in the movies. That's outrageous. It gives no chance for competition. So it's actually only 30 points. So it can tip the scores in your favor, or it can just end the game if you're losing very badly. Most people actually think it's really cool. Although I got injured against a game against the University of Texas, which are the #1 team in the nation right now. And well, I got injured. I had to go to Hattiesburg Clinic and went to their sport. Went through and was telling them, like, oh, I got injured. And they were like, oh, so what sport? Quidditch. So, of course, they were just curious. No serious, like, make fun of. My family, they're still trying to wrap their head around it, but they've all been really supportive. Most people think it's actually really cool, though. I remember one time I was running late to practice after reporting at an SGA meeting. And I was putting on my socks and cleats outside, and this guy, he came up to me and thought I was a runner, because I was dressed to run, and was like, oh, have a good run, just, being nice. And so I'm like, okay, I'm not running, but okay. And so I continue putting on my cleats and everything, and he pulls around in his car, he pulled out, looked at me, and was like, do you play Quidditch? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, that's even cooler, and like freaked out. But we usually get a pretty good response, but a lot of people still don't know what to make of it. Quidditch rules change every year because we're a young sport. We're barely 10 years old. And so the rules are still adapting to a modern kind of game from like this fantasy, oh, we're going to, make this about Harry Potter, and more like we're going to make this about a serious sport. And so you had to wear capes. The brooms were actual brooms, like they had bristles, which we still use sometimes, but we all hate using them. We only use them in like super official USQ matches like regionals and World Cup. And they had to, if you got hit with a bludger, you had to spin around and then 3 times, and then you could get back in gameplay like you were hit by the bludger like in the movie. And so that was kind of ridiculous, but over time it's evolved and it's gotten a lot more serious. And Nick, our founder, has been really into, like, let's make this a serious sport, and let's make this something that anyone, even if you're not a Harry Potter fan, can enjoy. We're very well known as a smart team. We play very intelligently because most of us aren't big athletes like Austin or like Texas or like Texas State or LSU. We're not a lot of athletes. And so we learned how to play smart, and we learned how to deal with people much bigger than us. One of our first lessons, actually, as a beater, was to learn how to tackle people who are twice my size. And it just involved using physics and their own body weight against them. So that's kind of what we're known for, as being a smart team. But we're still working on aggression and picking up that athleticism.